So guys, I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about rust. Rust is a good thing. I am kind of in the dark with this camera, so I'm hoping you can see my rust I've collected. I collected this by collecting rusty things. Here in the South, it's easy to get rusty things because it's rusty here. There's a lot of sea in this area, and the sea winds and air and humidity causes a lot of rust. So I have this rusty guy here that I scrape the rust off of, and I leave him outside to gather more. And I have an old rusty sledgehammer. I'm hoping to get in the sun there so you can see the rust on him, and I scrape the rust off of him. I wanted to talk to you a little about rust because rust can be used for many things. One thing in particular I'm going to talk to you about is called war water. War water there's been a lot of controversy about whether it's a Southern thing or a hoodoo thing. And the fact of the matter is, folks, and I hate to break it to those of you who want to believe it's a hoodoo thing, but it's a Southern thing. It has been a Southern thing for many years. You use rust, Spanish moss, which is also collected in the South, and swamp water. You put them in a small jar like this. You can use rusted nails, or you can use regular iron nails that are going to rust in the water. You want to put the Spanish moss in the jar as well with the swamp water. And then you want to open it every few days. Now it's going to stench. It's going to stench bad. But you want to do that to let the oxygen in to help with the oxidization for the rust to collect on the nails. Now if you've already got rust, you can skip that step. I have an old rusty nail that I could put in my jar if I wanted. Cut rusty nails is what some of it calls for. Cut. Some of it just calls for rust. Personally, I would just use the rust, which I've got dropping all over me because I didn't scrape that nail recently. But I leave those things outside. They gather rust often, and I just scrape it into the jar, as you can see. So to make war water with this jar, what I would do is put some swamp water in here, which is not hard to find in the South, trust me. Some Spanish moss in here, and this bit of rust I've got. Then I would open it every few days. Now it would stink, but I would do it to continue to oxidize the Spanish moss and let it rot. You want it to rot. Then the old spell would be that you'd take this jar and you would throw it either at the feet of your enemy, and if you don't want to go quite that far, which I'm sure in these days and times any of us want to go quite that far, you would just drop it on their doorstep or on their land at some point. And what this does is bring to them a curse of ill wishes. You could enchant this with whatever wishes you wanted. Now, I would not personally do ill wishes. I would do maybe a banishing, a removal. Perhaps I wanted them to move out of my vicinity, or maybe I wanted their, I don't know, I'm trying to think of something, but maybe I wanted their tractor not to start, or their hay crop not to flourish, or something to that effect. You would put in the jar as it's fermenting, and then you would drop that liquid on their land, and this would give them the effect of whatever wishes you put into that jar. So that is war water. It is not a hoodoo thing. It is actually a Southern thing. And I just thought I'd give you a little bit of a rundown on rust and what it can do for you. I hope you enjoyed the video. I love you all. You're divine, sacred beings of light and love. I miss you, and I hope to see you soon. Bye, guys.